Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another video for The Walking Dead. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our weekly throwback review for this week's Year of the Dead Walking Dead throwback review. This is for The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 8, the mid-season finale, titled How It's Gotta Be. Alright guys, this one's going to be doing another video today. This one's going to be doing another video for The Walking Dead. This one is our weekly Year of the Dead throwback review. This one is my throwback review for The Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 8, titled How It's Gotta Be. So, got a chance to go back and watch this episode again. Again, you guys have been like completely, utterly surprising me with the votes these past few weeks. Because last week, what the hell did we review last week? I remember we reviewed an episode that I was like really surprised that won the vote. And this week as well too, in particular, How It's Gotta Be, I am very surprised because we had like adaptation on that vote. We had like a whole bunch of season 9 stuff, and this one won the vote. This is a very hated episode of The Walking Dead as well too. Now, I'll get started with the review like this. I will say this. A lot of people, when they bring up this episode, they say, oh my god, it's trash. Oh my god, I can't stand this episode. Oh my god, this episode is, terrible. And here's my opinions on it. I don't think it's trash at all, to be honest. I know a lot of people really just cannot stand this episode. I admit there are parts of it that are really, really bad. But I think there are a lot of redeeming factors about this episode as well, too. Not all, but there are shared problems, but I also will say that there are the things that I do like about this episode. I can't sit here and say this episode is trash like a lot of people usually do. So this is how the episode goes down, right? You pick up after the events of episode 7. Rick has now noticed that the Saviors have gotten out, and he takes the garbage people to the sanctuary, where they then leave him 2 seconds into the Saviors firing down at them. And the garbage people straight up leave Rick there to die. So you've got Carol and Jerry that come in, they save Rick's life, and the garbage people just straight up left. So immediate flaw at the beginning of the episode, the garbage people and their whole arc was a waste of time, clearly, because they just abandoned Rick just randomly like that. Like, are you kidding me? They literally wasted a plot of like 2 episodes of him trying to get them on his side. So ridiculous. I can't even believe they did that. But anyway, you get a flashback of Carl and Rick during the events of the Season 8 premiere, where he's kind of asking them, like, are you just going to kill everybody? Is that really what we're going to do? And, he says, like, we need there needs to be something after, we need some sort of future, and that's how it's got to be. So, one of the best things about this episode is the score. The music is incredible, and the music that they use in this one at the beginning of the episode and at the end of the episode, where they show, like, the characters, like, faces and stuff, was excellent. I love it. I think it's really, really good. So then we get to see Aaron and Enid. Now, again, this is a plot that I just do not care about. These guys on their way to Oceanside to try to gain fighters for our crew. Now, obviously, it makes sense why they're doing it, because they lost the kingdom and they need more people on their side. But here's where my problem comes in with the kingdom, or the Oceanside arc, right? Is that they go there and they're basically just trying to, I guess, get them on their side, even though Enid just shot the grandma, so good luck doing that. And then they get surrounded, and then like that's literally all we see of this entire plot this episode. I mean, like, for one, I didn't care about the grandma. Second of all, they're now captured, and like it's such an offshoot storyline that I just could care less. And unfortunately, it drags itself until the Season 8 finale, when they finally come and help. I do not like this plot at all. Not even a single bit of it, to be honest. Now, in terms of Alexandria, right? So Daryl and the rest, they're like, oh yeah, it worked. We crashed the truck in, it worked. We're going to tell them to surrender, whatever. And this is when we get the Saviors that retaliate. So you get the Kingdom with Ezekiel. They're trying to find Ezekiel and obviously kill him. And you've got Gavin that's kind of making this speech trying to, get it out of the Kingdom residents, like, where is King Ezekiel, right? And you've also got Maggie, Jesus, and some others that are on the road, and they get blocked off by saviors as well too, which then we see Simon come out and he ends up dealing with them. He ends up killing one of their people, and he ends up holding Jerry at gunpoint, and Maggie kind of has to surrender to Simon in that moment, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty crazy scene. They they kind of confront them and stuff, and I like how Maggie actually kind of tricks Simon. She's like, I'd like to ask you a favor. Can I get that box to bury my friend Neil that you just shot? And he's like, favor granted. All right, go back to Hilltop, start planting again, So yeah, they let them off the hook aside from Neil, right? And, well, then we got the big guns. We got Alexandria with Negan and Carl and the rest. Now, Carl, man, holy frig. This was an awesome, awesome episode for him. And not enough people really acknowledge this. And this is why this episode is not trash for me. Is because I love when Negan and them show up. And Carl, he takes complete control. He tells everybody, like, we're going to do this. I've got a plan. This is my show, Michonne. You said it. And I'm giving you guys an order. I'm giving you guys, directions on what you're going to do. And you're going to do it, right? So Carl distracts Negan while Daryl and the rest flee, which I thought was really, really cool. And, he has a pretty interesting conversation with Negan. And this is pretty emotional seeing how true this is. But he tells Negan, kill me. If somebody has to die, if there has to be some sort of, revenge or whatever, if there has to be a price to pay, then kill me. And he tells him, I'm serious, And it's just sad because, full well what the frig he's talking about. At the time we didn't, but now we do know. And it's really, really sad to look back on. But, of course, it was just a distraction so Daryl and the others can get out, right? So Daryl and the others get out. Negan gets pissed off because then Carl hops off the guard tower. And he's like, was that just a plan? I thought we were having a moment, you little asshole. And he starts blowing up Alexandria. So he's pissed off because he thought he was having a moment with Carl. And, yeah, they start blowing crap up with Carl inside, right? And it's crazy because Carl just continues to walk through Alexandria as it's burning around him. And he's willing to die. He's willing to die this entire time. Now, meanwhile, you've got Daryl, Rosita, and Michonne and some others that go out there on the road and ambush the rest of Negan's men. And they ambush all of them, basically. However, Dwight then joins in and starts killing his own men, which I thought was really, really cool. And, well, unfortunately, one of them he did not get, which is Laura. She is still alive, and she finds out that Dwight is a traitor, but, Michonne and the others shoot at Laura, she gets away, but now Dwight is caught. He can't go back to the Saviors. So he's now with our crew. He's not going to stay with our crew, but not until Daryl gets his jacket and rips it right off of him, right? So, yeah, that was pretty cool as well, too. Daryl's like, mine, he didn't say that, but he's like, mine, take my damn jacket back, right? So, anyway, that was pretty cool. And then, of course, you've got Ezekiel, right? So he is the hero this episode, I would say. He crashes the truck through, he gets his people to safety, and he sacrifices himself so the rest of his people can get away. That is a true king there, 100%. I mean, that is a heroic moment. I love the music as he saves them. I love the scene in general. I mean, it's so well done. And honestly, I love it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So then we also get to see, in addition, we get to see a really, really badass scene from Maggie where she gets back to Hilltop and you've got one of the prisoners there. And just to call it even for Neil getting killed, she kills one of the saviors that's in the pen. And she, puts him in this box and basically says, we have 30 some more, stand down. And she tells Jesus, get ready for the last stand because, the war is going to go on, right? So, yeah, and then again, they play this, like, cinematic music as Maggie walks away. It's so good, and I love it. I thought it was absolutely amazing. So then Rick gets home, okay? So Alexander is blowing the frig up. His son's God knows where. The rest of them are all inside of a sewer tunnel at this point, hiding from the rest of the saviors that are out there. And Rick goes in the house, and we get the fight between him and Negan. Now, this fight scene started off really good. I really like their kind of banter back and forth. Like, Rick's like, you ever shut the hell up? And Negan's like, nope, and he keeps swinging, It's a really good fight, for the most part, I would say. Here's the part that I don't understand. And again, it's plot armor, but I mean, it's very obvious plot armor, you know, is when Negan pushes Rick out the window, which that was a nice callback, by the way, to Peter. I didn't miss that. But when he pushes him out the window, Rick has a fully loaded gun in his hand. And Negan is sitting there inside the house. If I was Rick, I'd be like, okay, Negan's unarmed. I have a gun on me. I'm gonna go in there and finish the job. You know, am I reckless for saying that? Because honestly, if I had a fully loaded gun, 6 bullets, or maybe like 5 since he fired one of them, you have a shot. I would not give up. I really wouldn't. And I get it. He has to find his family and he has to, you know, kind of get this done. But I don't know, man. If I saw Negan in there on his own, I'd say, yeah, screw this. Honestly, let's do this. You know, you want to start a fight? Well, I'm going to finish it for you. You know, that's what I'd be doing. So, again, just personal preference, but I feel like that was just kind of in there. So it's like, okay, Rick can't kill Negan yet. So let's just have him, you know, leave, right? So, whatever. Just a minor flaw. But then, of course, you get the gut-punching ending. You get Carl that's revealed to be bitten, and that's kind of how they leave you. Really crummy way to leave you. I mean, I don't like it at all. I never liked the idea of Carl being bit. I never liked the idea of him being killed off. But he went out like a gangster. I will say, he went out really, really good. Just, I don't like his, you know, being bit. I really don't. I think it's random. It messes with the story. It messes with a lot of the comic material that's going to be coming after this. And an example of that is when you see The Walking Dead Season 9 and you see Henry, you know something's off, right? And that's what I was worried about, and unfortunately it happened. Henry in Season 9, he was okay, but let's be honest here, that's not the one that was meant for that storyline. So, I don't know. That's just my opinions. This episode, I'm going to give it a 7. I like a lot of it. I do like a lot of it. I have problems, more so with the Oceanside stuff, the decision on what they did with Carl, and, you know, minor nitpicks with Rick versus Negan. But, again, like, there's not major flaws in this one, like, to where it's terrible. But, you know, it's a decent episode. It's a decent mid-season finale. I think it's got a lot of substance to it. But there are some things I feel like they could have done better, for sure. So, anyway, let me know in the comment section below how do you guys feel about this episode, looking back on it after all this time. And let me know in the comment section below what episode you guys want me to go ahead and review next week for the Year of the Dead. Of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, though, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Make sure to also follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And, of course, I'll see you guys really soon for another video for The Walking Dead. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
I've heard stories. Walkers that can climb walls and open doors. I was never sure if they were just stories.